The heat heats up as it becomes a scorcher here in Los Angeles. Literally feels like it's 1,000 degrees. It also feels like Nancy Pelosi's hairdressers put her blow dryers in my. Good afternoon, everybody. This is LALATE Afternoons, 2-hour programming block starting every day at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Part of our 3.5 hour programming block on LALATE every day starts with the check, then then hazard pay, then FPUC, and finally rent. Big developments today. It's just the shocking twist from FEMA. I mean, FEMA is just sort of like, Santa Claus in the middle of the summer. Santa Claus came from the FEMA again and is now announcing not 3 weeks of benefits, not 4 weeks of benefits, not 5 weeks of benefits, but hey, can you hear 6 weeks of benefits? Yes. FEMA is paying 6 weeks of LWA. This is just totally crazy. I mean, literally, I'll probably stop the recording and then I'll go into editing, and it'll be at 7 hours. It'll be 7 weeks of FEMA money. It's truly incredible. Let me get to the great news in this video, and then I'll be going over more about what's going on next week for the extension of FPUC 2.0. And then finally, I'll be answering some of your questions that you've been asking about UI and PUA weeks and extensions. More about that in a second. Let me get to the incredible great news about LWA. LWA, which is underwritten by FEMA, it's FEMA money, it's not Treasury money. It's an agency that basically, in my defense of them, because I don't work there, I don't know what they do, I don't know if they wear scarves or or they go get their hair blowed out in San Francisco every day. But they, I think, thought that when President Trump issued his executive order establishing this program, LWA, the extension of FPUC benefits for a finite number of weeks at $300 a week, and the state can add $100 on top of it, I think FEMA thought, maybe just the Republican states will do it. Maybe just, 10 states will apply for the money. Or maybe they said, okay, we just have to assume everyone's going to apply. And so when they initially got the word from Trump that there was going to be this program, they initially said there's going to be 3 weeks of benefits at most. Some states we may only have 2 weeks, so we're going to pay the first states that got in first 3 weeks, and we may only have 2 weeks left for everyone else. And then every day it's changed. Then it's, okay, everyone gets 3 weeks, and maybe some get 4 weeks. Then it's everyone gets 4 weeks, maybe someone get 5 weeks. Now today it's some get 6 weeks. By all accounts, as I say now, 3 minutes into this video on a Sunday afternoon, it's likely 6 weeks is where it's going to stop. The new indication suggests that there literally is no more money to start pushing into a 7th week. Which state is getting the 6 weeks? I mean, you can guess this. The first state that applied. I told you the early bird gets the worm. Yeah, the early bird gets the worm. The early House representative gets the blow dry. It is Arizona. Yes, congratulations, Arizona. My wonderful viewer, Candy, sent me the article, sent me screen grabs. She is getting 6 weeks. I had 2 viewers yesterday, the day before, added Texas. They're getting 5 weeks. So understand certain states have really stepped up and others are sort of behind the 8 ball. California hasn't even paid a penny yet. Unfortunately, we're going to have very little notice of when this happens, says DES Director Michael Weisenhart. And so it's likely the 300 benefits will stop abruptly for the individuals, but it's going to be 6 weeks. So getting the word out that individuals need to continue to plan, need to continue to work with their congressional delegation to express the need that's going to continue Arizona and move forward. There's currently about 420,000 people on unemployment and PUA in Arizona. So it's not millions and tens of millions of, it's a smaller number of people than other states. Arizona is the first state in the nation to pay the supplement. It's called lost wage assessments. It's $300 a week. It's or LWA. Officials had estimated the fund would last 5 weeks, but now that it's been paid 5 weeks, some states are able to go to 6 weeks. Other states are just sending out the money. Some are doing retroactive. But generally, what I've been reporting on this channel is most states are retroactive. It's likely that after 6 weeks, there will be some amount of money in jeopardy for the availability of these funds going forward. So he actually says it's a little bit over 6 weeks of sitting around for Arizona, says Weinhardt. As we head toward the 7th week, it becomes more of a challenge for the dollars to be available. Okay, so there's a possibility you can get 7 weeks of LWA in Arizona. Let me explain what's going on. When LWA went live, FEMA said, first ones that apply get the money. Now, what happened was Arizona put their application in and said, hey, these are the number of citizens that are on PUA and UI. So they put the application in, they got the money sent to them from FEMA. It's unclear how FEMA sends the money. If they send it in one fall swoop, at the initial regard, or they send it in progressive stages. But at some point, Arizona, over the weekend, in an article obtained by LA Today, said, hey, we've now looked at it and we say, we definitely have 6 weeks. We may have a little bit of 7 weeks. We really don't have a good sense of what's actually going to get paid for the other states, says Weinhardt. Neither do I. This continues to be the heartbreak for most of us in times of important need, and it is. So DEA has been meticulous with PUA claims. In recent weeks, a batch of 90,000 PUA claims were paid, another batch of 5,000. That means Arizona likely will, like it did in the Great Recession, need to borrow from the Labor Department to pay regular unemployment. So they don't have enough money. The fund was about $1.1 billion heading the pandemic. It's about 484 today, so they're a little short. That is incredible news. California is starting to pay payments on LWA next week, as they sent a statement last week. What's really good with these states is they're being more transparent. When this pandemic first hit, and I was doing recordings on the beach with spiky hair, with a backdrop that's flushed out, and you can't see much of the backdrop because the sun is shining on the back of my head, sort of like today. Then at that point, I said, these things are just really not clear. There was security breaches by some states' unemployment websites. There's some states that weren't even going live. There's some states that were starting to go live but couldn't get their computer systems to work. And everything just went slow and slow and slow. And the best thing that I could ever told my viewers was get on everything. I said that yesterday, I'm going to say it again today, and I don't care how many times you hear it. Get on everything that you qualify for. So if you're a viewer and you're sitting back and saying, I think I qualify for this, get on it. Don't wait around for a friggin' stimulus check. If you qualify for PUA, I said this to my viewers back on April 25th, if you qualify for PUA or qualify for UI, go get on it. Because the numbers are ridiculous. I mean, why would you sit around for a $1,200 check and put your financial livelihood at risk when if you qualify for PUA, you could be getting, let's say during FPUC 1.0, 600 plus 150, $700 a week. After 2 weeks is more than a stimulus check. Why would you put yourself at such anxiety level if you qualify for PUA, you qualify for UI? And what's disconcerting is, and it's sad, is that this channel was smaller then. So a lot of people didn't find me and get the message. And those that did got incredible benefits, but a lot of people never knew me then. And so they didn't get the benefits. I had a very nice viewer overnight send me a message that said, my husband's a guitarist and he's on UI. I'm like, why is a guitarist on UI? Guitarist is an independent contractor. It's like a reality TV star. You're not on contract. You go from gig to gig to gig. You're a gig worker. Like an actor. You're UI. You are a PUA person. You are an independent contractor. You are not UI. UI is W-2. A guitarist is not a W-2 employee unless you, let's say, work in the, I don't know, Disneyland, play the guitar every time Minnie Mouse goes by and says, Nancy Pelosi has bad hair, see you at 11. Unless that's your gig, then you're PUA applicant. And so this person hasn't received money, and I'm like, well, I'm worried because you clearly are a PUA person. Why are you over in UI? And then I had my Uber and Lyft driver, so I said, hey, go get EIDL, go get PUA, go get everything that you apply for. And so as you sit here today, if you are watching this video and haven't thought about getting those things, go get them. The things to remember as we go into FPUC next week, FPUC 2.0, is that that's 2.0 going forward. But if you have not applied for 1.0 and qualify for 1.0, go get it. UI and PUA has on top of it from March to late July, FPUC 1.0. That's $600 a week. I call it 1.0 because there's so many damn names. It's like someone has to come up with a name like these things. It's Mo and Curly. I got to call it something. So the first version of FPUC was $600 per week on top of whatever you certify for the weeks of March to July. If you've never done PUA UI and you qualify, go do it. What are you waiting around for? And needless to say, if you have applied and you're waiting for it, you need to be patient. Kevin Lee, who I detailed yesterday and the day before, he really is one of my OGs this channel, and he got on the application process right at the very beginning when I was telling people on April 25th, go get it. Now 230,000 subscribers later, he just got it. It was a long path that he had to go through in battle to get it approved. But he's getting $19,000. That's how many weeks have passed. Eileen out of Florida. She had to wait all the way from April to like May or June with me for a long time. Wasn't getting it. I kept on saying certified benefits. Keep on certifying for benefits. She got it, $9,000, $8,000, $9,000. It all adds up. So when FPUC 2.0 gets debuted next week, what should you expect? Let me detail that as right now. So the skinny, did I actually say it? So the skinny host reporting on the bill next week, that's not called the skinny bill. It's called the bill with a capital T, like the God. The bill that's introduced next week is not a skinny bill. It's not called a skinny bill. Is going to have in it an extension of FPUC 1.0, which could be called 2.0. We know certain things about it, of what's in the bill. We certain things that we don't know about what's in it. First of all, we know by representations from Meadows, Mnuchin, and all those wonderful people, that it's going to go all the way to December 31st. That's the first thing we know. Second thing we know is it's going to pick up from where FPUC 1.0 ended, late July. Third thing we know is that it will be retroactive. So if people have not received any LWA, fine, this will cover you. If you have received LWA, it'll pay the difference. But it'll be retroactive to when 1.0 expired. Next, we know that it'll go on top of PUA and UI. And so those are about the things that we do know. The things that we absolutely categorically have no information about, we have no idea about it, and I've gotten questions about it, I'm like, I don't know. When the Purple Power doesn't know, I will fully say, I don't know. And those are one, will anything be done with PUA? Don't know. Will anything be done with FPEUC? What is that? More about that second. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be in there. Anything with UI? I don't know. Things that we likely see happening is the amount of money for FPUC 2.0. I'm reporting it will likely be $400. Why? Because the number has been floated by Republicans who are authoring this bill a lot of times. No one has said next week will be $400. And I'm not saying next week was $400. I'm saying I'm predicting maybe it's $400, but I absolutely have no idea. There's no categorical statement by anyone on the record it's going to be $400. The HEALS Act for Mitch, which Donald Trump called an irrelevant bill, the president called it a relevant bill, was $200 a week. Nancy Pelosi's HEROES Act was $600 a week. None of those numbers are going to be floated next week. I just don't see them happening. The LWA executive order that created LWA was $400 a week. It's $300 from the federal government, $100 from the states on top of this. So that's $400 a week. The last offers from Mnuchin to Pelosi were $400 a week. The offers from the president during the negotiations between Pelosi and Mnuchin, $400 a week. So by all indications, it likely is $400 a week, but we don't know. We simply don't know. But the great news about it is that the relief will be coming. Now, the critical thing that you need to do, if you didn't watch Morning's LALATE, boy, that was a great broadcast. A lot of people tuned in. Thank you so much. Is that you need to really ramp up the tweeting and the Facebook sharing of these videos, especially this one for unemployment benefits, because the issue at hand is that with unemployment benefits, people will try to potentially not sign the bill. You can imagine that if you're running for re-election just a few weeks, and you're either a Republican or Democrat, and you are faced with a bill that says extend enhanced unemployment benefits for citizens of the state that are all unemployed, and you say no because what? You want money for state and local? No, because Nancy Pelosi tells you to say no? No, because of, I don't know what a crazy rule is. The point is that that's not going to get a person reelected. And you need to step up the pressure, because ultimately what will happen is people will be heard. Remember that the New Age Coalition, Democrats, the Blue Dog Democrats, a combined group of about 100 to 250 members, Democrats, wrote Nancy Pelosi and said, you need to do a standalone bill for enhanced unemployment benefits and get it out right now. We can't go into the fall election without an enhanced unemployment benefits standalone and get it out right now. She ignored the letter, said the caucus is aligned, it's not aligned, and said that we will deal with it when we come to it. It's strategically not in our best interest to do enhanced unemployment benefits right now or to get this done right now. So as millions of residents of particular states that are up, whose senators are up for re-election, they're not supposed to have enhanced unemployment benefits because it's not in her strategic best interest to give it out now. When is it in her best interest to give it out in January? Ultimately, you need to ramp up the tweeting, ramp up the Facebook sharing, take this video, share it. And someone said we need to agree upon a hashtag. Yeah, we do need to agree upon a hashtag. We simply have like 20 different hashtags we're doing on this channel. But we need to agree upon a hashtag. But tweet your senator and Facebook your senator, because ultimately, if they don't support this, they shouldn't be reelected. Moreover, for House representatives, which I should have brought onto broadcast today and give you their names as well, who are up for re-election, you need to send the same message to them as well. Boy, in a day in which it's really hot, and someone other than me would probably not have recorded and just called it a day and, go sip a martini, outside a San Francisco hair salon, they would have just not recorded. But I sat through it and got the recording done. So if there's ever a day to give me a subscribe and a like, it's today. Go to this front of the channel and subscribe and hit the alert button so you're going to alert when a new video goes live. And if you are subscribed, there'll be a red button next to your name, indicative of how hot it is today, literally. If you don't see that red button and you haven't subscribed, you have subscribed. Go into the pinned comment to this channel in which I describe how to ensure you are subscribed. It basically involves unsubscribing and then resubscribing. Next, like this video, because liking this video really helps the video appear higher in the algorithm before other videos that are really just, telling you that aliens are coming to take your stimulus check. Telling you that next week, Arizona will be paying $2,100 stimulus checks. 7 times 300. Oh, I see how you made up that story. Yeah, it's that type of stuff I'm dealing with. So try to get this video higher in the rankings. Coming up next is rent. Stay with me for that, because that's a big one. As always, stay informed, stay motivated, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.